Man City, another win at home to Brighton. Phil Foden playing another blinding performance again and supplying a goal. They have a game in hand on Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man United. Everyone in the top three, and will go second if they win that game in hand behind Manchester United. Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the Sideline Podcast. I'm here with Fionn.
Anna, how are you today?
I'm good. So, talk to me about Man City. They're after finding another run of form, and Pep seems to have gotten his men in good shape again, and they look like they're going to be a serious title contender for Manchester United and Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Foden is doing excellently in that team because obviously Kevin De Bruyne has lost a bit of form this season, and with Phil Foden being able to come in and play the way he's playing, it has helped that Man City side so much with attacking and creativity in the opposing half. Whereas, as well, now you can see the team seems a lot more sorted out. John Stones and Ruben Dias in defence, they're playing excellently. They're like rocks in that defense. Not much gets past them. Sorry?
Yes, I was just going to say they're playing fantastically, but Phil Foden is such an energetic presence in the middle of the park, something that they might have been lacking at Manchester City. He's got pace, and obviously coming from David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and maybe even Gundogan, Fernandinho, they're all brilliant players, but maybe they just lack that bit of pace, which a young Phil Foden supplies. But they do go second in the league if they do win their game in hand. I'm not sure who it's against, but they've won their last 4 games, and they look to be a big challenger, and I just think that if they can, keep this form up, that Pep could guide them to another Premier League title and maybe more than that. And it is a worrying prospect for Manchester United, who are at the top of the table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you said earlier, though, you mentioned David Silva. I mean, the loss from him from that team has been immense to that Man City squad. He used to just hold that midfield and he was always excellent. And him being gone now, they were mainly relying on Kevin De Bruyne for the creativity, and obviously he's not performing. So obviously with Phil Foden being that energetic and attacking, it's great for them. But they're serious title contenders now because, like you said, they have the game in hand. They are 2 points off Liverpool. So, just if they keep going the way they're going, they could win cups or possibly the league. It's going to be a good title race, I think, this season with Manchester United, Liverpool, and Man City. But I think if Liverpool want to stay in it, they have to find form again, as they've lost one or two of their last. They lost to Southampton, and they drew against West Brom. They haven't been playing well, and they need to just get back if Liverpool want to contend for the title. But it's going to be a lot harder this season, as everyone knows, because it's a lot harder to keep that Premier League title for 2 seasons in a row. We see it every year. Man City, they couldn't do it. Liverpool then got it, and now Man City look to be back in it.
Liverpool have gotten 8 points from the last 5 league games, but only 2 points from their last 3. Manchester City were disorganised, but they've sort of found out a way to be able to play in the false 9 position. We've seen Kevin De Bruyne sort of rotate with Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling, and it seems to be working for them. And now that is regaining a bit of form and bossing the pitch as he was against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup, he seems to be, getting back to his best. And it is worrying for Liverpool when they're dropping points like this to teams that they really should be beating. As a Liverpool supporter, I'd be worried about, where this leaves them. Is this the end of the Klopp era? All good things must come to an end, but it really would be worrying for a Liverpool supporter seeing their team drop points like this.
Yeah, true. I mean, at the same time, you can see, though, like, level on points with Man City is Tottenham, Leicester, and Everton. You know, there's a lot of people who are still high up in the league. So if Liverpool are going to they can't afford to keep dropping points if they want to contend for a title. You know, obviously, I don't think Everton have a structure to keep playing consistently. I mean, you never know with Carlo Ancelotti. You know, he's a great manager. But for me personally, I can't see them seeing the season out continuing great form. But I think Man City and Tottenham, they're doing great as well.
Tottenham are definitely up there and are looking good. Couldn't say the same for their noisy neighbours, Arsenal, who are still sitting comfortably in 11th on 23 points, which is still, I mean, considering where they were, Chelsea are at 9th. This Tottenham team, you know, obviously we talk about Man City because, you know, it's the way they're going. It's basically a 3 points, a granted 3 points, because, you know, they do have the game in hand on Tottenham and Liverpool and Man United, but Man United are 4 points clear. Manchester United are looking strong. They've won 4 of their last 5 league games, drawn 1. But Manchester City, you know, especially now with Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero returning hopefully in the near future, it is looking very strong. And as you say, that centre-back partnership between Stones and Diaz is looking good. I also noticed that Zinchenko against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup was I thought very good, and maybe it's been struggling for form for Manchester City, but I thought he was very good.
Yeah, he was. I mean, obviously, a lot of the team were struggling for form recently, but he had been a fair bit as well, and he was great against Manchester United. You know, he just played great. He was good on the ball, and overall a good performance.
He is able to get forward as well, and obviously they still have Angelino on loan at Leipzig. A move which, the way he's playing, he could make permanent. Obviously, he blitzed Manchester United and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the Champions League. And, you know, obviously he's a great player, but City do have these players at their disposal, and they have a lot of money. They spent over £420 million on their defence since Pep Guardiola joined. So that just shows you, it really paints a picture of how this club really does aspire for big things, and the owners aren't afraid to back the manager and invest a lot of money into the business. But I mean, as you say, great to see. I thought John Stones regaining a bit of form. It's been a tough couple of years for him, and now, you know, he's starting to get back into things.
Yeah, he's been playing excellently, but like you're saying, the owners aren't afraid to back the manager, you know, give them the money they need. And I think it's the same with Chelsea. You know, they weren't afraid to back Lampard. He brought in great signings. And, I mean, he's being criticised a lot, but at the same time, you have to give him time. Like, obviously, Ole came in. He had a great start, like Frank has had. Then the next season, it was all right. It was very up and down, inconsistent. We were off form. And obviously, the signing of Bruno Fernandes helped us throughout that season. But you need to give Frank a bit more time to adjust to the squad. But obviously, he should be doing some bit better with the team he has. But I reckon you give him next season, he'll be doing great.
Yes, and I completely agree, as Ole now has Manchester United at the top of the league. Maybe some mutterings about players have come out and said that they feel the training is too basic at times. But that's all for today. Manchester City rising and climbing the Premier League table. That's all from me. Thank you, Fionn.
Thank you, Anna.